Hello, Spring. Pooh went to his cupboard to find his breakfast. Oh, bother, he said. His honey pots were empty. Cheer up, cheerily, sang a robin outside Pooh's window. Buzz, 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 sang a honeybee. Pooh stood in his doorway and looked outside. It was such a beautiful day, Pooh began to feel like singing too. I think the spring is springing. I can hear a robin singing, and the icicles are melting. Drip, drip, drip. So I'm following the buzzing bee, skipping to the honey tree. Pooh skipped through the grass, up the path, to the honey tree. When Pooh reached the bridge, he rested for a bit. The river was racing underneath. Up above, little clouds were forming in the bright sky, and all around him, the trees were putting on their new green leaves. Hello, Pooh Bear, called Rabbit. No time for sitting. It's spring. Time to get to the garden planted. Oh, hello, Rabbit. Then the rumble of Pooh's tummy made him think of breakfast. No time for sitting, he thought. Pooh picked up his honey pot and walked through the meadow, all bright with flowers. Hello, Pooh, said Eeyore. I believe you're sitting on my spring thistles. Not that I mind, but thistles are much better when they are not sat upon by bears. Oh, no time for sitting, said Pooh, plucking a pricker from his fur. As Eeyore piled up his thistles, Pooh picked up his honey pot and skipped up the hill toward the honey tree. Spring is springing, and that's why Pooh is singing, following that buzzing bee heading to the honey tree. Pooh climbed up the honey tree and reached into the hollow. He grabbed 1, 2, 3 pawfuls of honey, then he filled his pot. He licked the pot clean and filled it again. After the second pot, Pooh began to think a picnic sounded like a very nice thing. But my friends are all busy with their spring chores, Pooh sighed. I wonder what they'll think. To Pooh's surprise, everyone agreed that a picnic was a splendid idea. They gathered at the picnic spot, and Kunga spread out a blanket. Piglet took acorn pies, apples, and honey pots out of a large basket, and Eeyore laid out plenty of thistles. Everyone sat around the picnic blanket and smiled and laughed in the sun. Ah, said Pooh happily, maybe spring is a good time for sitting. Pooh, announced Rabbit, you're absolutely right. Spring is a busy time, but I think the best thing about spring is sitting and listening to the robins singing, and watching the blue bells ringing, added Tigger, and smelling the brown earth greening, chimed Roo. And feeling all warm and sunny, sighed Piglet. And tasting lots of honey, cried Pooh.